Omurebi wa iHome Media kandi twakira guno murundi omushuransia yo kuyongera yona no kuganira omutekateka atarazi munazimwe kandi ngero umuntu nabasa kwibuza kandi kintu mwakira kusiya muta twatambwire turi har Baboon is it cottage restaurant Baboon Safari Resort Baboon Safari Resort igino cyango ko muri cyambura kandi Rubirizi district naho kubana tushanga turi kwiseho ubuhereza butari umwana bumwe ngoko kujya kubana ubureba akandi ayifa tuyo tuganira kandi tushi cya Rubirizi token ko kwano kireba turi mu revolutionancia kandi evolution ya sente igigize kubana hindahinduka mu murengo gutari gumana gumwe kandi obwati nanguna niteka tekeze turi kutambura mu ngoko kubana obucenga kurunje munonga turiwe tugamba ngo token yabe yizire yo nije kubana ikoreta bingi twatwa kushoborire nyinga stubitwa kushoborire turi ku introducinga entekateka as a cent digital currency yo nije kubana hindahinduketa kandi bintu mbije kuba bihindahinduka bita so echawe no kutega mato
kongera kumanyisa ninga kongera kutangaza abariyomba tureba ahubwo mutu nabasa kwevuza anka Uganda akatukiriye nyuma ninga katuribata kabataka koze regulations kabataka koze reki hatsi ababo kandi bukarumba tubizabuza nyenda kwecho kurebera nyenda kwizusya omwako gwawire 2022 it was November Parliament arihiteka arobiro eyibatira mu Parliament eyiba kweta ngo ni Capital Market Society Bill bakagiteka Parliament omwako gwawire ureda mateka gatoka bakugira ngo
ka Parliament ne kuchaza naho okutirize kubana ikorwa mu Uganda
kugira ngo ba regulating kiba kweta virtual assets ninga tokenization twagamba virtual assets ntwari bakweta virtual currencies ezo twantugamba uziona digital currencies they are virtual currencies ni sente zo takwata nkuko wakigamba tubara koma mbagaruka barugirating ebintu ebindi abo kubomanye ngo omuntu 2019 areiba kweta National Payment Act then is the president akagiteka ho mukono kabye brave na kimwe kwa misali 2020 iba kweta the National Payment System Act kikabanza global wodeka rwum IMF
chagumanchi rating anja
bagambira mahanga gine kora National Payment System Act Israel yamba mahanga ati bakwita cross border payments twagamba cross border payments zimwe ezi digital currencies ninga digital concepts ziri mu digital currencies nizituyamba kugira ngo on cross border payment kankwe cyo kurebera ntunoza kusanga ngo with digital currency omuntu no yakubara America no yakubara inkai nabasa kusindika sento mu Uganda within a minute zikoreti
indeed
zize tumasa ngo concept like this one noza kusanga ngo Rubirizi token niza kubanera birwa mu kuyamba ati nicyo kimwe kibakweta cross border payments twazombi insongeza ati tourism usanga ngo umuntu tourist naenda kwiza kuno usanga ngo atabandije yarabahari a blockchain afune Rubirizi token within a minute akole booking everything aiza touring beauty
abo kuba sentenze bazasubirwe bagenda zona zawe
nka Uganda nicyo bari bakora amateka kugira ngo nibamanya ngo rede arabantu abari muri iyo industry kuko twagambira nti nakubibira bakakora report basanga bitwari 10 twatuza by 2030 it is projected kuba akakade akakade Ugandan abari muri iyo nkora bine kuba regulator kuko kuba regulating mobile money 2014 it is the same way in fact omunsiyoona worldwide aho kuba ebintu tubantu birebera nankeje a global scale worldwide umwaka guturumwe kwe 2023 babire bariyo bakozira amategeko ku regulatinga icyo bakwita ngo ni virtual currencies virtual assets then by next year 2024 ntusubira regulation kubandi zikora na Uganda na yani tekozire ki nayo testamire nabo batire hoti au kana Bank of Uganda kataho sandbox so a token like this one yeza kuba developed twine kubantu gitwara nkai Bank of Uganda tukagoberera amateka agagubatira ga National Payment System Act then tukarabo mateka agagana nkejaga regulations aga tokenization nka parliament agi yakozire agu bariyo nubahazana already babatitire omwako gubire cyo mansa ngo already they no ebintu ebinje abamwe abanyarwanda tufollowinga parliament so these things are not new. Government is already ahead nicho kwera ngo kazi government zioni zikora central bank digital currencies ezo digital currencies central bank digital currencies ni sente z'amahanga za government ninga eza central bank konka sikumanyisa ngu ezi technology revolution nkege ya release token yavero nti abanyarwanda mbakuba bari kaziri mobile money tebiro na sente za Uganda tezibiro tuburi yomwe araba mwe baravuga mu nkoreriya
actually araho umuntu uri kubasa kubana ibuza tukashinyo kano shaba sama banje babiri ni biza bampiriza nkadora ninga euro usanga yarabambara forex bureau yahinda hinda atubateka ngunza kuba
twara over euro over ni dollar one following iba kweta ECB European Central Bank bariyo bakorera cyo bakweta digital euro.
Indeed
the same to United States una kugira tizi world
because actually
manya abanyarwanda kakwembozi arenshi bozi buze tubintambura bakugira economic izo mu Uganda yagama unaza kombeka sa FCT ibara bene bakozesa cryptocurrency so cryptocurrencies oba cryptocurrency it is ecoin ya blockchain nko turiyo to developing ejo concept it is the same akabagira ngo omu ecoin city by 2036 naza kubata akoresha yo sente zati
nata kubeza za shilingi zitweza
nakubana akoresha yo sente za digital it is the same hati nitwe why not us turiyo muri this revolution abwenchi nitwe tutakuba part of this that's why there is a team eyo ne pushing a release token kugira ngo eje mpinduka yona yavero itwenka tourism industry yitu ya release na Uganda at large ebene tapingo mu katara aho kubari abana abantu bari muri aka katare yaze kunka tubakumanya sente zitu ezi za burizo so no inekoze so rimo rubakora ki rubakucenga nico kureba na banks zona omunsiyoona banks as we speak currently banks ziriyo nizigura digital currency oba ayowe
I know
banks are buying digital currency
and of course tutanjare ngo rwa banka nibiza kujya ngo nasa kweta jine
so nkwebera beni bariyo bastowaringa because it is a revolution so tusemerire kugira ngo we sit and watch things happen no tukisemeye kuba turebe ibintu nibe happeninga tukabyama tukagozegera nitwe twine kubane twimuka kugira ngo at least bukuna nakushoborire ka generation yitu tugire kitwayikura
omwamjoki nibinje bwabasha kubona ushobora no munyaganda ebizire kubana yitegereza nyikiriza tube tugire mukati kace tubase kuba nitugaruka.
Is another financial crash about to sweep the world? That's the question many are asking in the wake of recent bank collapses. All the usual suspects have stepped up to say all's well, nothing to see here. But just what's going on? And is it just a wobble, or is it the beginning of the end?
Well, Neil, this is the most serious wobble to the global financial system.
Say that this is what we should all be talking about, but we're not.
Absolutely.
I'm not exaggerating, am I?
Not slightly. Every person that I come in contact with in the public, I ask them, do you know what a CBDC is or a central bank digital currency? And nobody knows. But the Bank of England have been researching this for years. It's been on the card for years. But unfortunately, the government like to manage perception.
Yeah. Why would they be worried about us understanding this in more detail?
Because it's money that can be programmed, which means that they can tell you when to spend it, what to spend it on, and how to spend it. And they can also assign government agendas to the spending. So, for example, if they think that a certain area of the economy needs more stimulus, they'll push you towards that. If they think that we shouldn't eat as much meat, they'll stop you from buying meat. If they think that you've flown on too many holidays, they will stop you from going on holiday.
Okay, umurebo ayiho media kandi tongera okuhereza butari umwe na umwe kandi kuko twatagambye turi kutambura myanya tari yemwe nemwe kandi kiri umuri Twamba Rubirizi district kandi kiri Babuni Safari Lodge. Ombubuzo lyanje mukubona mwetaga kubuza nujya kubona biteko mu comments ayifaho cyone cyo kwetaga kubuza no kiteko mu comments ayifaho ninga shino jya kubona tukira anamba zisumeze kubana stambara ayifaho tubase kubana tukisya teka za buri kimwe cyone cyo kwetaga kubuza konga kandi teka ngo waguma no following buri mbozi kubona followingamo kandi teka na n'ikibuzo cyo kubana ubuza nikibana tutambara kandi nembozi ejo injijo. Mamjoki.
Yes sir.
turi mu introduction ninga shi no kongera ko nyonyoro umuntu mu ntekatekeji umuntu nogira ngo naija kuba nayanguhirwata
kufuna
ku accessing token
ninga kubasa kufuna edge token nko kuna nagambire host na nabareva IO media nti edge token ya rubirizi token numanya buri system yenengire yayo nko kuturiyo ense ya blockchain yine mitendera yayo baba yayirize kuba developed ninga bushime cyarize kuba developed nko bari mbakikora nibaza kurizinga website website ninga iba kweta web era benegamba concept yona ya rubirizi token and the rest then the website abantu arabarafuna umugisa gugura iba kweta ati nazo murimo rwa technology echo bakweta ICO uba initial coin offering arabaragifunire itaka abaragifunira discount
kugira ngo hati
abaragifunira hansi
omukarema kace nko ku system ya mobile money yizire omuntu wagisazira mu gukora services za mobile
araba bandize aruba arabukuba babandize then twariga mutendero gugwa ICO twine kuba niba pushed on different exchanges ninga usange ne trading jira butari ubumwe ubu kutambura a blockchain technology ubutari ubwe ninza kwecho kuribiraho nuza kusanga arunka katari aka Binance just na kwecho kuribiraho aruha katari ano na Binance nakuteka aru like cheaper cash njyana ujimwe numaru kuri tezi kutamburaho ninga nayo
arona chu what
just it is cheaper cash then aru Binance then aru za Gate.io then aru za Karekeni.
What is Royal Chu?
Royal Chu is just a journey trading robot. I don't know what they call artificial intelligence. No ebintu ebi nibiringwa so obutari nkobo bumwe kunka obutari obubona kubuzaho omuntu oyine kuba oyine simu ya smartphone nicyo nanagambye nicyo kureba ngo abazungu abana bageze nibakora technology utajya ngo smartphone ezo gambira no buri muntu wena ni smartphone usemeye kuba no yetanira technology ubwiri usemeye kuba no ugeyigisa because it is a way to go because these technologies twagamba blockchain cryptocurrencies digital currencies and the rest to access them oyine kuba uri smartphone ko kuza smartphone oyine kuba ni smartphone un smartphone oyine kuba oyine ukweto kaza smartphone tine email address then waiza kuba then ukora verification waiza kora verification ufuna wallet kurijira ubutari ubuturakoretse ubuturagitekeho ninga urabe nugikora kintu ujya accessing oka wano yenda kadora niba kugira ngo ugenda forex bureau kukana ni yenda bitcoin niba kugira ngo ugenda exchange ninga genda wallet set ninga genda rich ninga nani yenda yem your everyday money niba kugira ngo ugenda yem chain ntukora kintu uri kugiye one yenda USDT bajye mugenda Binance ninga jinanka so it is the same to with this rubirizi token njona nakuzinti itwe twine kupataninga no not patterning itwe tuza gukora nkorting umurikara katari kugira ngo ejo coin eji gundi token yitweje ine kuba nesika kuri ba invest abari yo muri yo butari bajifuna nico kureba tugira ngo community based token wizeru yo user case token kugira ngo niza kuba ne trading kugira ngo arunumara abantu bari mu crypto bono ba trader ninga bari mu blockchain technology ubwo cyabona ngo
buri kire nanda ko deba katari sente
katari sente ati ngo kuna kwereka aruwe uriba atubunka hanu ya usanga ngo burikiri bo batura bari akatareke center bo na trading agira ati abinje numanye bakwita forex trading and what njya katari no kariba hati njye uri no kariba kakona these are the currencies
ninjira murebi nanareba nka agundejo okuri kuba netambra na muno graph ejo graph
aho kana wagiriya none ureba buy and sell hata arwa abantu nkabo but aro crypto izo zine user case ntunubasa kukwisa to pay for goods and services usange like rubirizi token nuiza uizani mbabuni usasure you get goods and services weza kulambura every service so neza kupane patterninga na buri cyumuna n'abantu abari agrawunda bini services abari into tourism cyogura edge project ya yavire open yo neza kuba ne unlocking potentials kugira ngo tourism itu ya Rubirizi ntuza kuba twagiteye ko mu Katare kari akarumwa bagiga akarumu sente $1 trillion market usange ngo bakora ki they are coming cyo mesengo naza kwiza no kusanga haza wo partnership between the people buying the Rubirizi token and those within tourism.
Okay.
Here in Rubirizi and in Uganda. How kuba with the blockchain technology tukagira ngo token like this one ngo inekora umurubirizi ho ka inekora mu Uganda ho yona
mwambye wakim turi kuyendera nyinziri umunyuganda kutureba aho media kandi mpamyangwe buzo bya abantu kubona butekaho aho kwembozi ngizo ku bantu diforinga nebuzo byanyu tukubantu tugarukamu mpora araho benayo buza kugira ati so far mutukwatina na crypto ninga si digital currency exchange na nachi kache umunyuganda kabe no musaba cyane muno ahebembeza bine kubana bakipushinga ikintu iki
akindi kubasa na mununga numa abanyarwanda mbafurowinga abebembezi babo bimwe abintu abebembezi eva kubasa kwereza generation age ninga enkebera biva kubasa kwereza generation age no kubigura ubungo na mununga ensairi yo neza na mununga minyeto izine simu za smartphone kezi musigazi nkaba baba mubare nko kutwaza hari ya reception ko kuba bari babini smartphones so bine kumanya ngo batandike kushomesa abanyayuganda about digital literacy nico kureba noizi ko what hosting already if you still remember.
I remember
ngakugira ito abamwe these days tukarwita yaringa twaza kushomesa ihanga we are teaching the nation
obviously
we are teaching the nation we are teaching the nation about digital adoption. Why? Because buri kimwe cyona oboshomire obatoshomire we are all going here.
Indeed.
Oboshomire obatoshomire we are all going where? Nuza kubyetaka. Oba no yenda obato kubimanya. You will use a digital currency because government is using CBDC, central bank digital currency. Obato kabimanya bo turabimanyira. You will use tokens. Oba no manyo bato kubimanya. So abebembezi bine kuyambaho government kureba nko emishome kwatena digital literacy ninga abantu kwegesibwa kuba kuseme kubamba kozesa amasimu bagitamwa mani mununga. In fact nikinshemeza nasanga ngo umuntu ari kwenda kuza kwesimba aseme kuba na patterninga n'abantu ninga aseme kuba natwara ibintu nk'ebumbyaro abantu nibashomana bamanye ibintu ebi
abanza kito banyamakuru atubonde ko
kumanya patterninga kimo banyamakuru le nani abo kuba baba tachikozire abantu babo mbaza kusigara inyuma
In 1926 Nikola Tesla predicted that 47 years later 5.36 billion people today will be moving with mobile phone. Therefore, the leadership of the world should focus today on bringing digital connectivity to their people, the movement from the Web 1 of the internet to the Web 3 where the world is. Now, here comes a conflict between the young great brains in African innovation and the status quo, which are the central government, central banks. Cryptocurrency alone, which is part of the internet, what we call the Web 3 internet now, through blockchain, trading blockchain, the non-fungible tokens, the metaverse, the play to earn, which is gamification, the decentralized finances, are some of the things that we are talking about. And the earlier Africa and other growing economies embrace this, the more we close the gap between primitivity or backwardness and modernization. It's bringing financial independence that states have been so hard with to maintain. because they give you a paper money, they control it in central banks, and they determine whether it has appreciated or depreciated. But now every single person in the world, and I can predict 100 years from now, it's going to be different. That do not block the young brains. Central banks, wherever you are. If your currency doesn't have value, you cannot blame the people who have gone out to trade in these digital assets, the non-fungible tokens. You can only work within the revolution that is starting and make it better for our children, but you will not be able to stop it. Let's teach our people to know how to use the web.
With this blockchain technology, nk'ejurubirizi token and the rest, nti nekintu ekirabine connecting omuntu wa rubirizi on international scene. On international scene omukatare k'ensiyona
nkoko omuntu yakubasa kugira ninyenda kugamba n'omuntu waheru akakozesa esimu so nti maisa ona n'eki nkiza kuba nti muconnectinga omubyensente omunsiyoona
omuburambuzi omukatare kari akadigito nikyo kugira nti abebembezi bine kufayo munonga nikyo kureba recently Ministry of ICT kwa kuri kwa mnano kwa mwenda tukuzo kwa mwenda kwa around there bakaronchinga digital transformation. Digital transformation. Digital transformation roadmap kugira ngo by 2040 Uganda ine kuba ya movingire on this step. Konka waza kuri digital transformation, things like blockchain technology, this concept like this one, they are there. Konka bubizire kubironchinga when some of us, because I started these things since 2019, since 2019, you remember hosting us on a radio. So we have been in these things at least to win knowledge. Nitubasa guiding ihana, nitubasa kuyambe community, nitubasa kushomesa. Chomesa ngo abebembezi bona bine kufara mununga bakaturunda. Bakatwikira. Na muno munaba bari mu tourism. Irecha abebembezi. Zamuri ababine tourism. Abokoro mu tourism destination centers, abine tour safaris. Kara bari mu tourism industry within Rubirizi. This is a project they should watch out and they should wait. Aho kuba neza kuba wera munonga kureba ngo kuba omwaka kubena usanga mu Rubirizi ntufuna abantu emitwaro usange nko mwaka usange Rubirizi ni 20 abantu akakadikamo
kabantu
by 5 years bakwiza kutayo muri with this from that kurugwo muri ejo market no masentezi bakusigo mu Rubirizi
ndi mno
aho kandi bazakwiza hariya ahitwara bahari akazi kopochi nkayihona basige Hussein.
I think AI is probably the other big disruption there, but and there's so much noise around a lot of things like FTX and others, but if you bring the technology down to its core value, it does three things. One is it allows a payment mechanism. Number two, it allows smart contracts to be programmed into the token. And three, because it's a general ledger, it has a source of truth. So whoever has that token, all rights in that token are granted to that person. So if I sell it to Frank, I don't have to go through a third party to do it. Frank gets it, and Frank gets all the rights. So my favorite example is Rihanna, who came out with, right before the Super Bowl, and I know she's just testing the market in this, 300 NFTs, each one worth 0.00033% royalties of one of her biggest songs. Well, why can she do that? She can do it because when Spotify plays a Rihanna song, it can capture, the smart contract executes and says, I owe royalties here. So nobody has to be involved in it. And it can take the fractional payment and go to, because Frank's a big Rihanna fan, so it goes to his account, and he owns a couple of those, and he's paid, right? So now think about any way in which you have revenue streams or royalty streams that you can now start to fractionalize that or democratize that, and think about how that is an uncorrelated asset to all the traditional assets. So other examples is, I think that athletes are going to, they'll sign a big contract, they'll say to their fans, I'm going to sell off, tokens worth 10% of my future revenue stream. I'm going to, 100,000 tokens, and boom, the fans are going to probably pay a premium for it. So it will be a way, if you think about it, it's just securitization done on steroids. And it's merely that this technology is enabling it, and it's also enabling other very interesting companies that will disrupt some of the traditional business models that we have today.
So, and the rest, so, this concept na ninga aba bantu abari muri ejo tourism nabo kandi ekinde kingaruka kubakutira bafeyo munonga barite ba experts abo kumanya ibintu ebi batandike kuba bara business aheri bareke kufocusinga ari economy ya dollar ya paper money and what.
Standard currency of the world is oil. Whatever oil is denominated in will determine what the standard currency of the world is. The Federal Reserve note is nothing but a piece of paper. It is not the standard currency of the world. At one time it was solid. You remember it. Back in 1960, you could take one of these into a bank and buy one of these. Can you today? A silver dollar now costs $20 to $25, depending on its quality. That $1 piece of paper will not buy it anymore.
Batandike kufocusinga kutapinga into opportunities eziri mu digital currency. Hoko abana bari ko binesente system ziri ko zinesente but tuba kubasa kufuna umuhanda go kola ki okuzira byo. That's why it will carry this token we are like no, enough is enough. It's our time. Reka tuvrete token to developing era connecting aka katale. We come and sit with these guys in tourism.
Nikiriza kandi embuzi iri zo banza kuri atwagikomya kandi zo kuba antukubugabugana umubundo bwire turi kuyongera yo mukushobora mbokwatina n'Empinduka mu sente kandi mpamya ngo ebituri kugambira niyo notira mutocho tira ko tochi ya ranzia na mno nkima abantu abakubasa kugeza ko ranzia mnonga orebera kimungu yensi yitu eriyo nehinduka omuburi kimwe konkitwe kugira ngo tukushaho bindi munonga ko mbera zikuhinda hinduka yo mbwiye mbeze mbyentura naki konka turi hasira na mno mbokwatina ya ebyesente Sharifu Murungi omunteka tekeji kandi nimpamya ngo ntujya kurara twakweyongera tubase kuba tusiyembusya ombokwatirine na Empinduka yensi omubye sente ecyawo no kusubscribinga na mno ka YouTube ujya kwata mukadaka kuba kari yifaho kandi buzimaze manuje ko watongera mani okwisyaho ebintu bitari umuna bimwe nangwa kandi eri kucira na hanuyo
umurebe wa ayiho media nitwakira
ntukwisera ibintu bitari muna bimwe umucyanga cyawe ebya masomero tukubitambutsa meso bonaho kubori ntukwiseho umubwishindi omuntu waburizo shi nagamba ki omushonga tareze muna zimwe iyo wembezi umucyanga cyawe abahangu batari bamwe nabo ntibakwiseho barukushobora okucyanga kitu kiri kutambuzibwa etawo nzayituzo nizikura n'ingana zigaruka nyuma nabita kabiterwa ntukwiseho rere bya maramizo hoho munyana wanje arahanga hari buri kimwe n'ikibasika iyo bwinje no burisa namwe nabuzubi nabyo tubukushaho kurunde munonga omumenye bitari yemwe iyo tuwegiseho hati oshemererwe munyana wanje likinga o following otuheza mani okukora ibintu nkebi no kushaho ibintu nyamwingi iyo rukwenda kutayira tukabasa ku bantu gambaho nani kugambaho n'abanyarwanda tukwatira namba zose mwezo tukwikiriraho naho kubora
ayiho media ntwasimisa buri kimwe
reka tuyigitere hamwe tuyombeke tuyigiteho hati tuyisimisa cyanga cita utakayebo kutukuratira aha mukuretari ya mwenemwe a Facebook turiho a WhatsApp turiho a YouTube turiho n'ibindi nyingi